In my previous life, on the day of the election for Gamma, Victoria accused me of stealing her wolf enhancement elixir. She became the new Gamma, while the pack cut off both my hands and threw me into a silver mine. When I opened my eyes again, I had returned to 1 week before the Gamma selection of the pack. It's time for my revenge. Our pack descends from ancient werewolves and witches. Every member brews their own wolf enhancement elixir, and each wolf has one lifetime opportunity to use this elixir to strengthen their abilities. This enhancement elixir can boost a wolf's self-healing ability, speed, and strength. Legend has it that 200 years ago, someone created the most powerful elixir that could turn an omega into an alpha wolf. But now the formula for this alpha enhancement elixir has been lost. In my previous life, a week before the Gamma selection, my mentor Beta Richard told me, the Gamma selection day is approaching. Among the young wolves eligible for selection, you're the most talented. The elixirs you brew always have the best effects. It's a shame my granddaughter doesn't have your brewing skills. Even now, her elixirs can only enhance healing abilities by 10%. If she had half your talent, I'd be satisfied. After hearing Richard's words, I happily returned home. While reviewing ancient texts, I discovered a record stating that using the brewer's heart blood in the medicine could significantly enhance the elixir's potency. So every day, I would stab the edge of my heart with a knife, enduring excruciating pain to draw a bowl of heart blood for my experiments. The resulting elixir was indeed exceptional, twice as powerful as ordinary ones. Regular elixirs typically only enhanced healing abilities by about 10%. But an elixir brewed with heart blood was powerful enough to transform an omega wolf directly into a gamma wolf. This is the most powerful elixir in the existing formula. In our pack, no one had successfully brewed such an elixir in the last 50 years. I meticulously experimented with my heart blood day after day, hoping to successfully create this gamma wolf enhancement elixir. And I succeeded. On Gamma Selection Day, I confidently brought my Gamma Wolf Enhancement Elixir, ready to amaze everyone. But the moment I drank the elixir on the competition field, although my wolf indeed transformed into a top-tier Gamma Wolf, I couldn't control it at all. It immediately fell at Victoria's feet and submitted to her. Everyone in our pack knows that only self-brewed elixirs are effective. If you drink someone else's elixir, your wolf will submit to them. Victoria laughed. I wondered where my Gamma enhancement elixir had disappeared to. So you stole it. But you didn't expect that by drinking my elixir, your wolf would submit to me. When word spread that Victoria had brewed a Gamma wolf enhancement elixir, something no one had succeeded in doing for 50 years, everyone in the pack rushed over, eager to see how she would transform into a Gamma wolf with superior combat abilities. Meanwhile, my wolf trembled on its knees at her feet. While everyone rushed to congratulate Victoria on becoming Gamma, they didn't forget to give me a vicious kick. Then they spat insults at me with contemptuous faces. Pathetic. We actually thought she was some genius potion master, but she's just a shameless thief. Alexis is truly ridiculous. Of all things to steal, she chooses someone else's elixir. Look where that got her. But our Gamma is incredible. That was a Gamma wolf enhancement elixir. I wouldn't even dare to dream of brewing something like that. Words hurt more than fists. Those who had been overshadowed by my brilliance for years now freely unleashed their jealousy. I had worked hard for over a decade, only to be casually labeled a thief. They had permanently nailed me to the pillar of shame. Tears fell as I tried to explain, but under the effect of the elixir, I couldn't utter a single word. Victoria gave me a disdainful look, then put on a facade of pure kindness. She personally took a silver dagger and sliced open my wrist. Blood immediately poured out, and the silver-inflicted wound prevented me from healing. Lexi dear, my elixir won't enhance your wolf, it'll poison it. The only way to save your life is to drain all the poisoned blood, she said sweetly. You just wanted to be Gamma so badly that you stole my elixir. It's okay, I don't blame you. As she spoke, she carved several more wounds into my body. The excruciating pain from the silver dagger made my eyes turn bloodshot, almost dripping with blood. Everyone praised Victoria for being both powerful and kind, truly the most suitable person to be Gamma. I collapsed on the ground, filled with despair. I never stole anything. That was the elixir I brewed myself. But before I could speak up, the pack members threw me into the forest to fend for myself. Just as I was about to bleed out, someone knocked me unconscious and threw me into a silver pit. The silver pit burned my entire body with agonizing pain, even corroding my bones. When I opened my eyes again, I had been reborn to 1 week before the Gamma selection. I found myself in Beta Richard's home. He patted my shoulder, his eyes full of encouragement and admiration. My granddaughter doesn't compare to you. You're the most skilled elixir brewer in our pack. Coming back to consciousness from the agony of being literally corroded to death by silver, I felt a jolt of terror. A mix of emotions flooded through me, and my eyes instantly welled up with tears. I had died once, yet was alive again. However, the memory of that near-death agony wouldn't fade away, it seemed etched into my very bones. Richard didn't notice anything unusual about me and continued, "You must carefully brew your elixir these days to become the next Gamma." Suppressing my body's trembling and the disgust that made me want to slap his hand away, I smiled at him. "Beta, I'll do my best. I'll do my best to uncover the truth about my previous life." In my past life, even at the brink of death, I still couldn't understand why the Gamma Wolf Enhancement Elixir I had personally brewed made my wolf submit to Victoria when I drank it. I couldn't figure out where things had gone wrong. This time, I won't use my heart blood to brew that Gamma Wolf Enhancement Elixir. That should prevent the problem, right? This time, I will definitely change my fate. I maintained the smile on my face until the moment I walked out of Richard's house. The wooden door clicked shut behind me, and only then did I let my expression crumble, my jaw clenching so hard it hurt. In my previous life, Richard had encouraged me the same way to participate in the Gamma selection, even giving me many precious herbs to help with my elixir brewing. He placed the herbs in my hands with that same paternal smile, telling me I was destined for greatness. I had nothing but reverence and gratitude for this highly respected Beta, never once harboring any suspicion. His wisdom was legendary in our pack, his decisions always fair and just, or so I had believed. Since childhood, he had kindly taught the pack children how to brew werewolf enhancement elixirs, always with a gentle smile that made everyone feel comfortable around him. Most of my skills were taught by him. In my heart, he was my mentor and also my family. After my parents died fighting rogues when I was 12, Richard had taken me under his wing, giving me extra lessons and encouragement. However, the person who made my wolf lose its resistance and became the pack Gamma was Victoria. And Victoria was Richard's granddaughter. It was hard not to overthink this connection. Had he groomed me all these years just to build me up for Victoria's triumph? Was I nothing but a stepping stone? I couldn't figure out where things had gone wrong, but this time I wouldn't brew the Gamma Wolf Enhancement Elixir, nor would I use the method from Richard's book that called for heart blood. Surely then, nothing would go wrong. I was naturally talented and had worked diligently, conducting thousands of experiments until I succeeded. The Gamma position should have been mine by right. This time around, I was determined to make those who had mistreated me kneel at my feet and beg for forgiveness. Back home, I opened the glass bottle hidden in my cabinet, containing the Gamma Wolf Enhancement Elixir I had spent over a decade perfecting. My wolf, Willow, howled with desire when she smelled the elixir. Instead of experimenting to improve its effect as I usually would, I took out silver powder and poured it directly into my treasured elixir bottle. The entire potion was completely ruined. My wolf Willow howled almost uncontrollably, "What are you doing? Stop. This is our only hope." Willow struggled violently within me, desperately trying to stop me. The anguish in her mental voice was so strong it gave me a splitting headache. I gripped the edge of the table, steadying myself. "Trust me," I gritted out. "We can't use this. It's what killed us." My wolf Willow's abilities ranked quite low in the pack, her healing ability, speed, and strength all inferior to other wolves of the same age, which was why we had been bullied by our peers. The memory of older pack members forcing us to our knees in the mud, laughing as they called us runt, still stung. We had been waiting for this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to enhance my wolf's abilities, and I had spent over a decade researching this Gamma Wolf Enhancement Elixir. I hesitated briefly, but then remembered the agony I felt at death in my previous life, and steeled my resolve. The memory of silver burning through my flesh, melting me from the inside out, was impossible to forget. Besides, the silver powder I had just added was lethal poison to wolves, with no antidote even for myself. The pungent metallic smell made my eyes water and my nose burn. Once poured into the elixir, the potion was beyond salvation. At this point, there was no turning back, and I absolutely refused to repeat my previous life's tragedy. My gaze hardened, and gradually my wolf Willow stopped struggling. I could feel her resignation, her fear, but also her growing trust in my decision. I let out a long breath. This time, I wanted to see how Victoria would make my wolf submit. I changed into light, comfortable clothes and headed toward the forest. In my previous life, I had often risked my life venturing deep into the forest to find herbs for brewing the Gamma Wolf Enhancement Elixir. I remembered a particularly precious mooncrest herb growing on a cliff. This herb, when used in werewolf enhancement elixirs, could dramatically increase a wolf's speed. But since my Gamma Wolf Enhancement Elixir hadn't required this herb in my previous life, I never picked it. This time, I planned to brew a completely different enhancement elixir using the mooncrest herb. If Victoria wanted to play dirty, I'd change the game entirely. I searched carefully along the cliff, which was extremely steep. Several times I nearly fell, my fingers slipping on loose rocks. My heart pounded in my chest, adrenaline spiking with each near miss, but I didn't give up. Found it. Pushing aside the underbrush, there indeed was a mooncrest herb. I carefully picked the herb and tucked it safely against my body. To be safe, I didn't take the mooncrest herb directly home, nor did I use my usual elixir brewing equipment, and definitely didn't use heart blood in the brewing process. I couldn't risk Victoria discovering my plans or tampering with my work. I found a temporary cave in the forest and settled there. The brewing process was completely different from my previous life. I meticulously controlled every detail. I set up 3 or 4 alarm bells at the cave entrance so I would know immediately if anyone approached. Simple contraptions made of string and small metal objects, primitive but effective. Paranoid much? Willow commented. Not paranoid enough last time, I replied darkly. Even when sleeping, I remained vigilant, wary of anyone trying to tamper with my work. The cave was remote. I stayed there for 4 days until my elixir was finally complete. Tests showed this elixir could increase my wolf's speed by 200%. When I tested a single drop on a field mouse, the creature zoomed around the cave so fast it was almost invisible. With this level of speed enhancement, even if my wolf lacked strength, I was confident I could secure the gamma position, as no other wolf would be able to catch me. I carefully packed my elixir and headed home. While passing through the woods, I overheard 2 pack members talking. Hey, what kind of elixir do you think Alexis will brew this time? Among us, she's the only one qualified to be gamma. Hard to guess. Alexis hasn't been in the pack for nearly a week now, probably working hard somewhere. By the way, I heard that Victoria, who has always been mediocre, somehow brewed a speed enhancement elixir using mooncrest herb that can increase a wolf's speed by 200%. Though she hasn't shown it to anyone, so who knows if it's true. No way, another one gasped. Victoria? The girl who couldn't even brew a basic healing potion last summer? As the 2 walked further away, their voices gradually faded. But I stood frozen in place. A speed enhancement elixir? Among the many types of werewolf enhancement elixirs, Victoria happened to be brewing one with mooncrest herb, with exactly the same effect as mine. Could there really be such a coincidence in this world? I didn't believe it. In my previous life, my wolf was completely paralyzed and submissive at her feet, with no chance to explain myself before Victoria declared that my Gamma Wolf Enhancement Elixir was actually brewed by her. Even the highly respected Richard stepped forward to testify, claiming he had seen Victoria using her heart blood to brew the Gamma Wolf Enhancement Elixir. I couldn't speak at the time, I could only use all my strength to shake my head, indicating that I hadn't stolen Victoria's elixir. Richard said that if I admitted to the theft, he would release my wolf from its paralysis. But I stubbornly shook my head. The onlookers pointed and cursed at me. How shameless. All the evidence and witnesses are here, and she still won't admit it. So much for being a prodigy. More like a prodigy thief who only knows how to steal other people's elixirs. According to pack rules, stealing elixirs means banishment from the pack. Throw Alexis out, she's a disgrace to our pack. Tears streaming down my face, my fingers trembling, I pulled open the collar of my dress, trying to show everyone the scars on my chest. The scars crisscrossed so severely that even my wolf couldn't heal me completely, proof of my daily extraction of heart blood. But Victoria moved quickly, kicking my hand away, while exposing her own chest scars and sobbing. I used my heart blood every day to brew elixirs, and finally managed to create the Gamma Wolf Enhancement Elixir. I know you're a genius, Lexi, while I've always been mediocre, but you didn't have to steal the elixir I spent so long brewing. She cried delicately, looking utterly pitiful. Everyone present felt angry on Victoria's behalf, calling me a jealous schemer who couldn't stand to see others succeed. So Victoria, under the pretense of saving me, took a silver dagger and cut open my wrists and body one slash at a time, letting my blood flow freely. Then she had me tied up and thrown into a silver pit. My body burned from the silver, even my bones corroded, while Victoria wore the Gamma's ceremonial clothes and accepted everyone's congratulations. Through her schemes, she made my wolf submit to her and became the pack's most radiant member. Meanwhile, I struggled in agony in the silver pit, my blood covering the entire floor. Thinking of this, tears streamed down my face. It was just about a speed enhancement elixir, I didn't want it anymore. My eyes darkened as I reached inside my dress. I pulled out the speed enhancement elixir and once again took out silver powder, pouring it in. After destroying the elixir, my gaze grew calm. I tossed away the bottle and returned home. Sitting at home deep in thought for several hours, I decided to switch to the most primitive method. This method was favored by our pack's ancestors when they first began brewing elixirs, but with the advancement of elixir research, no one had used it in a very long time. I discarded all recipes and directly selected dozens of herbs, ones that enhanced speed, strength and power, improved self-healing, and threw them all into the cauldron, beginning the brewing process immediately. Dozens of randomly selected herbs, each with a different function. Even I didn't know what effect the final elixir would have. Surely this wouldn't end up the same as Victoria's elixir? Or rather, would this randomly brewed elixir also make my wolf recognize Victoria as its master? With an anxious heart, I waited several days until the liquid in the cauldron gradually condensed, leaving only a small pool of essence. I carefully opened the cauldron. This type of elixir brewed this way didn't even have a name I could give it. The color of the elixir wasn't particularly appealing, yet it had a fatal attraction to my wolf Willow. Willow howled inside my body, saying this was a unique elixir that belonged only to her. I carefully collected the elixir, keeping it close to my body at all times to prevent anyone from seeing it. Its effect seemed even better than both the Gamma Wolf Enhancement Elixir and the Speed Enhancement Elixir. Tomorrow was the day of the Gamma selection. This time, I cautiously opened the lid, preparing to experiment first. I found a stray dog and carefully fed it a tiny amount of the enhancement elixir. After drinking the elixir, the improvement in the dog was very obvious. It grew larger, developed stronger bones, and its speed and strength clearly increased. Just as I was breathing a sigh of relief and preparing to put the elixir away, the stray dog suddenly lost control. It faced a particular direction, barking enthusiastically and wagging its tail, as if recognizing someone in that direction as its master. I looked up in that direction. It was a remote area where only one person lived, Victoria. This dog had never even seen Victoria before. How could it, just like my wolf in my previous life, voluntarily submit to Victoria? A cold chill ran down my spine as realization dawned on me. This wasn't about the elixir formula at all. Something else was at work here, something much more sinister. It's impossible, I whispered, watching the dog strain against my grip, desperate to run toward Victoria.